Our plane arrived in Quito half an hour after midnight. We took a taxi to our Hotel Hilton Colon. It was a 45-minute drive with very little traffic. During the day it can be considerably longer. The distance between Ottawa and Quito is about 6,200 kilometers. In the morning we hired a cab that took us to the Panecillo that is 3,150 meters above sea level. From that point we had a marvelous view of the city of more than 2 million inhabitants. It is the highest official capital city in the world and one which is the closest to the equator. El Panecillo is a hill located in the middle west of the city at an altitude about 3,150 meters above sea level. A monument of the Virgin Mary is located on top of El Panecillo and is visible from most of the city of Quito. In 1976, the Spanish artist Agustin de la Hera Matoras was commissioned by the religious order of the Oblates to build a 41 meters tall aluminum monument of a Madonna. The statue of the Virgin of the Panecillo is a replica of a sculpture made by Bernardo de la Garda in 1732.
Tenemos 36 iglesias, todas muy grandes, muy majestuosas. Para la época colonial, parece que cada familia tenía su propia iglesia. Mi nombre es Patricio Andrade. He tenido la gran oportunidad de servirles a ustedes en este recorrido.
Gracias, muy bien.
Muy bien.
Ese es el sistema.
Our driver and guide informed us that in the small 3 square kilometer colonial center there are 36 churches. As he jokingly mentioned, it seemed that in those early days there was a large church for every family. Quito, Ecuador's capital, sits high in a valley of the Andean foothills at an average altitude of 2,850 meters. Constructed on the foundations of an ancient Inca city, it is known for its well-preserved colonial center, rich with 16th and 17th century churches and other structures blending European, Moorish and indigenous styles. These include the cathedral, the Plaza Grande Square, the ultra-ornate Compañía de Jesús Jesuit Church. On the other hand, the huge basilica is a 20th century construction in neo-Gothic style.
Oh, acá no.
South from the Panecillo we can see the southern part of the city that is over 40 kilometers long and never more than 5 kilometers wide.
Nichos. Yeah.
After descending from the Panecillo, our driver dropped us off at the colonial center, and from there we have started discovering the city on foot. Our first stop was at the Plaza de San Francisco and its church. San Francisco is the largest architectural complex in the historic centers in Latin America. The construction of the church began in 1550 on land adjacent to the plaza, where the Native Americans engaged in the barter of products. The church of La Compañía began construction in 1605. It took 160 years to be built. By 1765 the work was completed with the construction of the facade. This was done by Native Americans who carefully shaped the Baroque style in one of the most complete examples of this art in the Americas. This is the most richly decorated churches we have ever seen. The architects of La Compañía incorporated elements of 4 architectural styles. Baroque is the most prominent, but extraordinary Spanish Baroque, Moorish and neoclassical elements were also used. 7 tons of gold leaf was used to decorate the artwork. The carvings of the main facade is made entirely of Ecuadorian anthracite stone and resembles the Italian more than the Spanish Baroque style. La Iglesia del Sagrario is a large 17th century chapel. It is beside and attached to the 16th century Quito Cathedral, but is generally accessed separately. It is a part of the whole of the cathedral complex, although it seems more to be an independent church than an attached chapel. Work on the foundation began in 1617. The facade was completed in 1706 and the remainder of the building in 1750. This is the presidential palace on the west side of the Plaza Grande. The Plaza de la Independencia, or Plaza Grande, is the center point of life of Quito. This church began its construction in 1562. The building was completed in 1806. The cathedral is the burial place of several presidents of the Republic, as well as of bishops and priests. It is located on the south side of the Plaza de la Independencia, or Plaza Grande. We have made a brief tea break in the plaza. Our host served us coca tea that, according to most people, helps to prevent altitude sickness. Carondelet Palace is the seat of the government of the Republic of Ecuador. It is located in the historical center of Quito. The palace is the nerve center of the Plaza Grande, around which were built, in addition, the Archbishop's Palace, the Municipal Palace, the Hotel Plaza Grande, and the Cathedral. During the Republican era, almost all the presidents have operated from this building, which is the seat of the government of the Republic of Ecuador. The third level of the palace is the presidential residence, a luxurious colonial-style apartment. In 2007, the presidential compound was converted into a museum.
Ide másztunk fel. Majdnem annyi, mint a...
We had a steep climb to the basilica from the center of the city. This monumental Basilica del Voto Nacional is the most important neo-Gothic building in Ecuador and one of the most representative on the American continent. It was once the largest in the New World. It is a most impressive building from the outside, showing statues of native animals on the side. It is very spacious inside, with the Christmas decorations still present. After this visit, we returned to our hotel to attend a meeting with our fellow travelers to the Galapagos Islands. After the meeting, we had New Year's Eve dinner at the nicely decorated restaurant of our hotel and went out to have a feeling how the Ecuadorians celebrated the arrival of the new year.
Ez a meglepetés.
Én meg a kedvenc fagyítámot fogom menni. Igaz, hogy nem ecuadori, hanem mexikói.
Boldog 2017-et mindenkinek.
Boldog új évet!
The center of celebration seemed to have been the street beside our hotel, but the authorities didn't take any chances. There were lots of policemen present to watch the order.